problem.
welcome back to the 2 a.m. podcast.
It is a big problem.
It is a big problem.
It is a big problem. And today...
Why? Why was that necessary?
I just love the random conversation intros.
Yeah.
They're glorious.
We leave some breathing room there.
Well, Saeed wants to talk about something badass today.
I
What do you
really
want to
do.
talk
So what
about?
can we talk about that's badass?
Dude,
What
it could
out
be
there?
anything. It could be like, yo, really quick, just tell me the structure of your interior of your dream house, for
And
example.
that's badass.
That is badass. You know what?
What about
Because
the
way
anat-
I'm thinking about it?
What about the anatomy of beards?
The anatomy
Facial
of...
hair.
Yes, the anatomy of
You know what?
facial
I would
hair.
rather talk about my...
Yeah.
I'd rather talk
about
about
your-
my treehouse design.
Let's talk about your
The
treehouse
anatomy
design.
of
No,
a
no.
beard.
Yeah.
You can talk about some dope shit with the treehouse. Like, what would you do for your approach, right? Like,
Yeah.
what types of... Where are you trying to build this treehouse is the real question.
Well, the first thing that you should be concerned about is what tree are we using?
Sequoia.
Because as far as I know, you can't just, trees need to grow out into a specific, like the tree has to be
What-
engineered a specific
what,
way.
what trees would be good for a treehouse?
That is an excellent question.
A robust pine,
Yes.
perhaps a mighty redwood.
Yeah.
What about an oak?
Or a California
Maybe.
sequoia?
Just a good diet oak.
Imagine having a sequoia tree in your backyard.
That'd be pretty cool. Just like a 200
Bro, you
foot
can
tall
see it all the
redwood
way
tree.
from
Yes, dude.
Irvine.
And then your tree house would be you just drilling a hole into the thing.
Could you imagine seeing that in like a suburban backyard though?
Yeah.
Like you're just cruising through Irvine and there's like a 200-foot tree out in the middle of nowhere. Takes 10 people holding hands to wrap around it.
Yeah.
Shit. So out of place. This tree has been here for several hundreds of years.
And we're just going to destroy
Am
it by building a
Am
treehouse.
I bringing back my Jiggy Carmacker ASMR approach to talking about discussions and things relating to
The Namibia.
Namibian jazz.
tree.
I would like to bring back Jiggy Carmacker. I think that's who I'm going to be for Halloween.
Jiggy
this year.
Carmacker.
Jiggy Carmacker.
What does he look like?
You know,
though?
what? I don't know. We're going to figure it out.
I feel
on
like he looks like
Halloween.
Carrot Top, dude. I don't know why. That's just the way I picture
No,
him.
I
that's
need
too
to
crazy.
I need to come up with an outfit that's so bland, so seemingly unnoticeable,
Mm-hmm.
blends in to the fabric of society, almost like suburban camouflage, I guess you could say, right?
Mhm.
So unrecognizable and so boring. That is who I think Jiggy Carmacker is in his core, right?
Yeah.
He's intrigued by the things nobody else cares about. Almost nobody cares about.
Mhm.
You, on the other hand, for Halloween, you should definitely be what's the name? What's the name of your alter ego on this podcast?
Tony Poppins?
Tony Poppins, and you should be an aspiring French Adidas model.
I'm down.
Which you
Well,
already
dude.
are. Every single
I
waking
already am,
moment.
apparently. As soon as I lose the goatee, we're chilling. Just a little wavy
Wait,
mustache.
we got off track.
We did, huh?
What's your treehouse looking like?
I was thinking maybe some mid-century modern.
Oh my
Perhaps.
God.
No.
Well, actually, what I was thinking about, what I actually mentioned wasn't treehouse. I said dream house.
Oh,
But,
dream
but then
house.
when you said treehouse, I was like, oh, that's cool too.
I don't know. Have I talked about my dream?
I
my,
think
like,
dream
I feel like
houses
you
would be
have.
a better topic.
Dream house?
Yeah.
Have I
Like,
talked about my dream living situation in the future?
you
on this
of course
podcast?
you, yeah. I personally, I know.
No, on the
But-
podcast, have I though?
I think
Yeah,
you
but it
have.
wasn't. It was like detailed, but it wasn't as detailed. What I'm thinking about is the interior specifically.
Mm.
The interior, like what kind of material, what kind
Mm.
of what kind of walls. Are you gonna have high ceilings, low ceilings,
Gets you to think.
open ceilings? I don't know what kind. You know, it gets you to think. Because now I've been a fan of cement.
I was thinking the
I'm
same
a
thing.
cement connoisseur.
I was
Bro.
no, actually, sorry. Now that you mentioned it,
Yeah.
when I was thinking about building my dream house, I was thinking of utilizing cement,
Mhm.
right, as one of the main building materials because obviously you need it. And I was thinking about maybe having a entire exterior wall that surrounds the property, right? But it's not very large. It's
Mhm.
like semi low lying,
Mhm.
right? Probably up to like just above your head, something
Yeah.
like that. And then I was like, what kind of concrete even exists? Like, are there strong concrete? This is so dumb. This is so boring. But
Different gradients or varieties of concrete.
yeah, there's different types of concretes, and I was like, what's the strongest concrete? And then I came across there's a type of concrete you can buy that it can take like RPG blasts and shit like that. And I'm like, that's what I want for the outside of my house.
Do you know how I pictured mine, for example? Have you seen that like Oreo factory where we have like, in case the apocalypse hits, Oreo has a factory that's vaulted down up in the North Pole, and it's just like a cement corner.
That is not true.
It's fake.
Oh,
it's
okay,
obviously it's a different spot. Yeah.
Real.
No,
The Oreo factory.
Yeah.
You're
That
fucking
we
idiot.
have the formula for the Oreo, But it sounds like some SpongeBob shit, The secret formula
Honestly,
to the Krabby Patty,
If the apocalypse goes
Hidden
down,
in the North Pole in
Yeah.
the Oreo factory vault.
I wouldn't mind posting up at that vault and just eating Oreos all day.
But that's the kind of cement I want. It's just that textured cement, but it's just super strong too. Right? Because I've built some dumbbells with like cement at the beginning of COVID. It does not work, but like it works. It's just the movement is so off because the thing is so bulky.
Plus,
You
it's
know?
the weight's not evenly distributed, right?
It is evenly
It is?
distributed. It's just so bulky on both ends that you're
Oh.
just like, dude, what am I?
Wait, what was the
Flintstones
handle
right
made
now?
out of?
PVC pipe.
She's got 2 blocks.
That
in it.
answers so many questions. It was probably flexy as shit. Going
No, it
up.
wasn't that flexy.
Really?
Because they're 15 pounds. So
Oh,
it's like, I had
30
15. I'm fairly strong, but like, with repetition, I'm not going to be doing
guess.
50s.
Yeah. I just wanted the RPG concrete.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Perfect.
I just
That's
wanted
exactly
that,
the concrete I'm
right?
going for. Yeah.
I wanted something like that. And then the way I would like to build the house is essentially it's just going to be a square. It's really rudimentary, like a Minecraft house.
Mhm.
Really boring, like in theory, but I would like the entire center of the house to be open with like a garden area perhaps and like some
Very
trees
nice.
and stuff rolling in
Ooh.
between. It provides natural light for the entirety of the house.
So a beam at the top of just glass, right?
no,
So
just open.
just open.
I'm
Mm.
talking
So
like
birds can shit in
so
your house. and
imagine a box like a square, right?
stuff. Yeah.
And then you were to make a smaller square in between that square.
Okay.
And so it's open completely in the center,
Yeah.
right? But you just have like walls of glass
Mm.
that
Oh, I
are
get
in
you.
between that house. So
Gotcha.
there's natural light that can flood in.
Mhm.
It could probably help keep the house a little bit cooler. And on top of that, you get like that outdoor indoor kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Feel. That's so sick. I like that. Any art?
Either me, my wife, or my family would make it.
Okay. That's good stuff.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that. I like that concept a lot. It
Yeah.
gives you something to do with your family too.
And it's not that I'm against like I guess more mainstream artists or paying for other people's art, but it's like
It's a home.
It's
You want to
my
make it a
house.
home.
Yeah, it's fun, and plus art to you feels like home as well. Yeah.
But also, it's like I want to teach my kids how to use like power tools and how to weld and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And I know that sounds really dumb.
Yeah.
Like what? Why? Of all like that sounds so dangerous.
It's not
And
dumb
it,
at all.
It
Yeah.
is, but you teach them when they're older, probably
Yeah.
like 13, 14 is
Mhm.
when you start with power tools. And then once they get like to 15, 16, you show them how to weld some basic stuff.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like, oh, yeah, we can just go down to the junkyard, like, 30-minute drive, an hour, whatever. You could just go find a bunch of metal parts, go take it home, cut them
Mhm.
into whatever you want it to be, make some art out of it.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be fun. Have
It's
some,
like-
like,
yeah.
trippy-ass sculptures all over the place. Around
Buy
the
him a
house.
'96 Civic, and then be like, "Come here, son. We're gonna teach you how to wrap my Lamborghini." That's anti-spoiling, bro.
But yeah, I want to do that, and I would also like for half of the house to be built underground,
Yeah.
and that would be for like AC purposes more than anything else.
I want like a Kennedy aesthetic,
A Kennedy.
What do you mean?
Kennedy
What does
aesthetic,
that mean?
like a Kennedy aesthetic basement, and I will explain. Shaggy carpet, a really nice single throne of a chair made out of leather, but it's specifically cognac colored. All right, we got wooden shelves everywhere with books and encyclopedias and thesauruses and whatever you want. A couple magazines here and there, right?
A couple cosmopolitans,
We have a little ice box. Got all my Dr. Peppers.
So you want like the you want like,
I want an escape basement. That's what I want. I want to feel
you
like
want,
I'm in
no,
a
you know what
different-
you want? You want the bomb shelter from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yes!
That's exactly what you
How
want.
Oh, I
did
do
you
remember
know?
that one, yeah.
I was like explaining it, and I was like, I hope to God Logan knows exactly what I'm talking
I
about.
know exactly what.
And
you're
that is
talking
exactly what I want, dude. It
Yeah.
feels like you're in a different era for like a couple minutes.
about. Mm-hmm.
Dude, what does that do to your headspace? What do you think? It's going to refresh your mind a little.
Yeah.
It's just a different vibe, man.
Yeah.
Like there's something about, especially with there's like those urban exploration kids nowadays, right?
Mhm.
Where they like to go into abandoned buildings and stuff like that. And there was one of these groups of kids. They went into a an abandoned nuclear facility in Russia, I believe.
Damn.
And I can't believe how grandiose everything was.
Mhm.
It was just the most unbelievable amount of architecture for just a hallway. Like it was
Yeah, that's
it was so over the top and elaborate and thought out. It's like I can't believe people did that. And like that was just their approach back in the day. Now we're a little bit more simplistic in terms of thinking.
Mm.
Right? It's more modern, straight lines, muted colors, things are pretty simple. But when you step back into a time like that, where everything feels cheap but so elegant at the same time,
Mhm.
it's fascinating. It's bizarre.
I like the combo of it's like modern architecture, but combined with nature. So, like, have you ever seen houses like that?
So
I mean,
what I was describing for my
yeah,
house earlier.
basically.
Yeah.
But like,
Like rural but modernized, kind of.
and then a lot of darker shades. Like you have like the grays on this wall, the blacks, the whites. Those combos I like.
Yeah. Those are just minimal colors because they're so easy on the eyes.
Mm.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like if your house was yellow.
That could be kind of dope.
Do we have a sound for that? I don't know.
No, there's yeah, we do.
Make a yellow.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I like some yellow houses. There's a couple down on the peninsula that are super cute. You know, where they're just like total little beach shacks,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like white molding around the corners or the edges and stuff like that, and then just paneled wood for each wall, and then it's just painted yellow.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay. I can
Yeah,
see that.
it's this very specific aesthetic. Like
Yeah.
you can't roll up to a house in like give me any major city that's outside of California.
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
You
yeah.
can't roll up to Phoenix and like see a yellow house like that and be like
Yeah.
it just doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Imagine going to like Austin, Texas. Or, like,
Yeah. Austin, actually that might make sense. Austin, they
what about like? Well, actually, yeah, I can think of like even Cincinnati, anywhere, dude.
Boston.
I feel like just California.
Boston.
Just
The
it doesn't
yellow
really.
house.
Boston. Boston.
I will say though, there was a time where I got off the subway in an area that wasn't the best in Boston. All of the houses were painted really trippy colors. I will say that.
Like reds and reflective red. What?
I'm talking like bright red, like that warning sign behind you, red,
Oh.
or like
That's trippy.
blues,
like warning.
or like blue like this,
Okay.
or yellow like that. You know, just
Okay.
really trippy colors. It's just like, why
yeah.
not? You know,
I guess.
we have to repaint our houses like every 8 months, anyways.
Yeah. You know, that's actually. I'm actually interested now. What are the colors you dislike? How about that?
Ooh.
Like strongly dislike. Like for example, I could tell you mine. Mine are 100% orange, yellow,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think it would just be orange and yellow. But
Any-
orange, there's some shades that I like.
I will
Yellow, not really.
with every color, there's shades I like and I dislike.
Mhm.
And I will say a couple years back, probably like 5 or 6 years ago,
Mhm.
I would have agreed with you. I disliked yellow. I disliked orange. I disliked pink. There were a couple shades of green that I thought were really unpleasant, even though it was my favorite color for the longest
Mhm.
time. But like as you work with stuff like Photoshop, or you know, you start just looking at cars more often, or for example, like when I was a kid, my dad, since he works in an industry that involves a lot of colors and color psychology,
Mm-hmm.
he would point out to me, like just in different cities, or like sometimes we'd go to Disneyland, and how every single section of Disneyland, every single land, I guess you could say, within Disneyland and California Adventure has its own vibe, its own color scheme, and they all play together, or they all like flow together simultaneously between spaces. And so that means somebody not only had to come up with the color scheme for every area, but how those color schemes would work over time as you progress through the park, so that you'd be able to easily identify the areas, and on top of that, just have like a nice transition of color as you move, almost as if you're walking through seasons.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's super interesting. I was actually so for color grading school, they have like this whole thing where even editors till this day they have a color chart that they look at their desk, and they have like this thing where it's just a bunch of cards of color, and it tells you what links with what, and if you actually expand it out, it turns into a circle, and it tells you like what is the opposite. Like so, if blue is sitting right here, exactly diagonal is the color that would match.
It's
a
a
complementary
color.
Yeah, exactly. What your dad said is 100% true. And if you actually, right next door to that land, like if there's a land that's like blue, yellow, and white, the next one could be blue, yellow, and white, and orange, right? It would be very similar colors, but what changed? Why does it feel so different? The type of color as well. It could be matte. It could be more of like a Play-Doh looking flat color in this one. But here, the same colors are being used, but they're more glossy and vibrant.
Now, would you do that? Would you take that Disneyland theme and apply it to like your home, except with only the colors you enjoy?
No,
Mm.
that's just too much.
It's very carnival-y.
Yeah.
Like, you got to leave it
Because
there.
I saw that with Drake's like elaborate, insane house. He just has different lighting for each room.
Well, mood lighting is
Yeah.
different.
Okay,
That's
we're talking about
that's a com-
colors like on the wall.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on lighting,
Yeah.
entertainment,
Oh, it's
or any of that. I will go deep.
Yeah,
Like that could be
that's-
3 podcasts for me.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get to lighting, but right now I'm just talking like layout specifically. Like, so I know your layout now,
hmm
which is dope. You like high ceilings, open space, just sunlight, greens, garden.
But not like stupidly high ceilings. I mean, like,
Yeah,
because I only want this
enough for
house-
it to be like you can blast something like a space in it. For
Yeah.
example, yeah, gotcha.
Like, for example, instead of maybe like a traditional 9 or 10 foot ceiling, maybe it's just like 12 or 14, something like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Which is high, but not the highest thing on the planet. Because
Yeah.
what's cool about that is if you have a high ceiling like that, you can incorporate fun areas like for the kids or just even me to go hang out in, where it's like you got a whole like trippy little stair thing coming out of the wall and it walks up and now over the kitchen or even the entertainment area, right, where everybody's watching TV or whatever. Now you have this whole upper level which has like hammocks.
Mhm.
It has like a spot that it's just like a net that you can hang on into
Yeah.
and just like post up.
Or you can
And
have
it
a
feels like
rail.
it's just floating up there.
Mm.
You can have like a rail, like it's a human shelf basically that is just mounted to the wall with a little ladder or stair set. You could just, yeah, like you said, you could just lounge up there.
Mhm.
So what's cool, I love high ceilings. My house has high ceilings right now, and I love it because it makes small rooms be perceived as large.
Exactly.
It's so true, yeah.
You feel like you could breathe, dude. It's freaking weird. Like, it could be 180 square feet, but like 300 square feet up, you know?
Mhm.
Mm.
No, I know the
Yeah.
vibe, definitely.
Yeah.
But
What about you, dude?
what about you?
I have a lot of similarities with him. Of course, the modern architecture, the nature aspect.
Yeah.
I do like open spaces, so I don't. For some reason, I don't like when there are walls closing off every single room.
Mhm.
It just feels off to me. So living room, open space connected with the kitchen, connected to whatever else. I think, and then as a writer, I would definitely have to have my own room for that, like my whole setup. And then I think the backyard is the most underrated part for me, at least. I would set the backyard
You
up
like
so
that?
nice.
You like that? I
Perfect
know.
grass.
Every time I FaceTime you, you're in the backyard,
Yeah,
shirtless.
yeah. I have to have my own sunbathing section. Like it's
Yeah.
a no-brainer.
I can already see it, dude. He's gonna have an infrared light, freaking,
Oh, I'll have a whole
You're
room
gonna-
dedicated to just dorky stuff like that. Sauna outside, everything.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
sick. He's gonna have
How-
Kindles mounted into the
But the
wall.
layout, I haven't thought of much. I haven't thought of the layout much.
I think you should. And then come
Yeah,
back
I
to me.
can see the value in it.
There's something I want to build in my house, which is very random, but I wouldn't build it next to my house. I'd build it probably like a quarter of a mile away,
Okay.
because I want property.
Yeah,
I
you want
like
you want land.
I want a big space of
Yeah.
land,
Mhm.
but I want to build a fire watch tower.
Ooh.
Really?
And it's not for watching fires. It's just like imagine your man cave is 300 feet in the air.
Dude, imagine having a studio.
Exactly.
Firewatch
Yeah,
tower.
bro.
Fire
The
watch.
studio watch
You know what
tower.
song is playing then?
The
Girl,
fire
lock
watch.
them doors and turn them lights down low. Yeah.
How high would it be?
Probably like 150.
Damn.
Something like that.
Damn, that is quite a project.
No, they have to be tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I was
Hmm.
Googling how much they cost. And if I can make as much money as I think I can in the future.
Sky's the limit.
It's plausible.
Sky's the
It's
limit.
plausible.
Okay.
Also, how dope would that be? Just like a Firewatch station,
It'd be the sickest thing in the world, dude.
right?
That's like when Barney Stinson in How I Met Your Mother decided not to go with his friend as the architect, but rather go with this Swedish group called Sven, just because they made him a dinosaur building with a rotating head, and his office is in the brain, and there's a strip club. And it breathes fire, too.
That is
So
just
every
insane.
hour on the clock, it just breathes fire in the middle of the air. This guy was like, losing his mind. So I get
Yeah.
that. Architecture, bro.
Yeah. You know?
What's the most important room for you guys?
What?
In the house? Honestly, I think I'm gonna choose bedroom.
That's a good question.
Bedroom for me.
Mhm.
Blackout shades,
That's a really good
purple
question.
lighting.
Because now I'm thinking of like 3 rooms. For me,
Mhm.
personally, entertainment room.
Damn, he took a breath before that too.
Yeah,
For me,
I had to. I think about it way too much. I want to be in the walls padding it, dude. I want the house to rumble without the house rumbling. And no one can hear it in that.
that is one of my goals, is to make the house so I can play music however loud I want, and outside you cannot hear anything.
I want to be at a concert without being at a concert.
Exactly.
But would you also
Dude.
want the option of like surround sound around the property?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'd
Of
have like
course.
Fashion Island. You know how they have the outdoor speakers?
I love how they
I
do
love
that.
that because you hear it everywhere and it's just so soothing. That's the kind of stuff I would like to have outdoors.
Actually, sorry, for the way I want to live in the future, I would not do that.
Understandable, because you're in nature.
Yeah, it's gonna be. But if you want to listen to music, do it in your house, or you can like bring it outside with a speaker and stuff like a little Bluetooth one. I'm not gonna say shit.
No, I would have it set up and weatherproofed and everything, but I wouldn't use it daily. I would use it like, we have a get together,
That's a fair
a
point.
dinner, things
Maybe
like
I
that.
would just make a
Mm.
center outside of the house where it's like that's the vibe spot
Yeah.
where everybody goes and kicks it, and like you got the grill over there,
Mhm.
got some under some like a little, what would you even call
Dude.
that? An awning, I guess you could
The
say.
gentleman grill. Remember?
Ooh.
Exactly. Yeah, one
That
of those.
is the best setup
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
picnic table with just like a flame going across the whole table.
And it's a grill.
Oh,
Super
my
gangster.
God. Can't
Yeah,
believe you
bring the wagyu out.
Yeah, he
Come
would
on.
waste. Yeah, I got a couple wagyus. I'm gonna waste on your ass.
But
Spare change.
the
Couple
most important
wagyus.
room for you is the bedroom,
Yeah.
which makes sense. For you, it's the entertainment room. That makes sense. Would you like to guess what mine is in my mind?
Let me hold on. Give me
It
like
sounds so dorky.
1 second. A laboratory.
Kinda.
A workshop space.
No.
Oh, to work on cars.
No.
Damn it.
I think I know what you're thinking, dude. You're thinking science.
It is science related.
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye. No. All I can think of is a laboratory. The laboratory.
The hydroponic and greenhouse center. I want to build.
Very close.
I want to do it underground.
That's sick. Kind of like Pineapple Express.
Yeah. Or the
movie.
gentleman.
Oh, the gentleman. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
but instead of
That's good.
weed, it's like plants. You
Yeah.
know that have a bunch of different purposes. And if
That
I
would
want
be
an
such a crazy room.
what is it? Is it atrium? Is that what it's called? For like a it's like a center where they grow trees, or it's like a
Yeah, it's an
sanctuary for
atrium.
atrium.
Yeah.
I'd have the atrium above ground where it's like you got all your trees and whatnot there. But for smaller plants, fruits, vegetables, microalgae projects, because I want to get into botany when I'm older and
Mhm.
all that fun stuff. But I want all that underground, and then I would like to set up a ventilation system so the air within the house gets funneled into there, gets recycled through all the plants and the microalgae within that system, and then gets funneled back into the house.
Dude, your house is
So-
gonna smell so fresh.
Just big brain thinking right there.
The reason why, and
Wow.
it's so dumb, but
Why would it be dumb?
in the event,
Yeah.
well, it's like a total prepper, like worrying about everything, like mindset.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
Because it's a process.
yeah, you're obviously going to need air from the outside,
Mhm.
just to mix in, so you can get some filters, you can get all that blah, 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 whatever, but if you have that filtration system inside, you can essentially just recycle all of your CO2 and the oxygen that you're breathing to an extent.
Mhm.
You're going to run out after a while, but that's why you have the supplementary filters. But for quite a while, I can use the oxygen I have for an extended period of time in case something bad happens, like Yellowstone blows, this volcano blows, and the ash comes through and it starts piling on houses, radioactive fallout coming down on the house. It just gives you a better chance, I guess. But then everybody's saying, well, if your house is open-closed design, how's that going to protect against the fallout? That's why half of the house, the living section, is built underneath it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Clever thinking, dude. That's because
I like to worry about things
you have the
that
brains
don't
for
matter.
it. But you have brains for it.
But
Totally
regardless,
kidding,
it's
totally
gonna make
kidding.
the house look crazy. So
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's just going to have a bunch of random extras that don't seem useful. But at the same time, if I have that hydroponic center, I don't need to go get groceries anymore.
Yeah.
I could go on one hunting trip, maybe 2 a year, to get all the meat that I need for me and my family, and probably friends that come over.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be part of the food system anymore, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
and realistically, I would assume it doesn't take as much money as most people would think. Like you don't need $100 million
No,
or like
God, no.
$50 million to build
No,
something.
you can
like
build
this.
a fully functioning hydroponic center in your backyard for probably under $500, which
Just
sounds
crazy,
like,
yeah.
but that would be like a pretty solid system too. I mean, if you just wanted to go the cheapest route, which would be traditional soil and like a makeshift greenhouse setup, you could probably do that under $100.
Yeah. You know what I want though?
Hmm.
I have a very I've been thinking about this a lot. But in the center of my house, and by center I mean vertically, not on the top level or the bottom level, I want a middle shelf of a balcony, but I want it to be completely straight. Just sharp edges, kind of just looks very, I want to say flush with the house. It's obviously a little disc extended, and it's a balcony area. But here's the cool part. The only view is going to be this glass pane. Have you seen the movie Arrivals? Remember?
Yes.
I was showing you a scene yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that alien scene? Imagine the aliens, but instead of like holographic or something, I want something that I can program into the glass pane where it's just like a light show. But in the right behind the glass pane, there's going to be a haze machine where it just has fog constantly moving. And I want it to be a large open space with the softest white light you've ever seen. And that's somewhere where I can go to think.
Oh, that's brilliant. I like that.
Imagine just having like two
brilliant.
drapes, just, and then nothing there except for concrete, white, milky fog.
And then what? In
with-
the middle, you have like your little couch set up.
Yeah, and then I could just like literally program my light show, the ones that I have pre-programmed. I just have it go through the like glass panes, have little dispersing effects, whatever it is. I want it to be like really futuristic, but just somewhere where it feels like your brain is being portrayed in a movie. Like what is Headspace? If Headspace was cinematography, what would it be? It would just be a panning out of an empty solid room. Would it not be? Kind of, with particles moving.
Particles representing thoughts.
Just think about that, dude.
It's trippy.
Like I want it to be a trippy room.
That'd be dope.
Like it looks like it's an edge that's about to fall under, but there's a glass pane and it's just
Would you go
it's
down,
just the upside down.
would you go down the route of the billionaire Chinese inventor who's made like several hundred or thousand patents, where he has an entire room plated with gold?
What?
Yeah, so it blocks out like any
Bad
and
energy.
any signals whatsoever.
Oh my God.
Any wireless transmissions, it gets blocked out.
I would do that for the entire house, not with the
I
gold
know.
specifically.
It's
but, like-
expensive as hell, bro.
You know, there's cheaper shit than
Yeah.
gold you can do
Yeah.
to get the same.
But,
effect.
No,
but like the same concept. You're saying.
But I do want to live on a plot of land as well, so it's like there isn't going to be as much EMF pollution and stuff like that
Sorry,
compared to a city.
Where else would you be living if it wasn't on a plot of land?
In the
Well,
air.
you get my
Essentially,
point. Like,
Have you seen
everywhere
Castle
live.
in the Sky, bro?
Zayd, could you imagine Zayd living on a boat?
Good morning, sailor.
what would the name of my boat be?
Huh?
What would the name of my boat be?
Dodging property
No.
tax.
No, not braids. You just come out all braided.
Zayd, he's tying off his beard.
Yeah.
No, but
He's got beard dreads.
Oh my god. No, I would call your boat the first Zayd
What?
and just have a plus sign.
Ben Greenfield, the the health authority, the wacky dude who I was talking about. He does that in his own home. He lives in the woods. He has like a master switch for all the Wi-Fi and stuff, and then he's built a system within his house that completely blocks like EMFs and whatever signals there are.
I was gonna say NFTs. It just blocks NFTs.
Or if anything, I would just put that in the bedroom because I don't want that stuff affecting my sleep.
Yeah, I remember you went on during Zion, we were at the hotel.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, "All right, time for bed," and he like shuts off everything, makes sure the freaking curtains are blacked out, turns off all the VCR,
Literally
the
taking
receiver.
everything out of the
He's
socket,
taking everything
like-
out of the sockets. I'm like,
I will say,
you know,
I was
so
like,
one of the
okay.
best sleeps I've had.
Hey,
yeah,
actually-
but I'm just saying, we still had our phones.
Also
Well,
in
Bluetooth-
his
airplane mode.
Yeah.
in his
airplane mode.
defense,
Yeah.
the amount of security cameras they hide in everyday shit at hotels, like just across the world, or specifically the U.S., is
Mhm.
pretty crazy. Like places you would never even think have cameras, they have cameras, which feels like a violation of privacy.
within
Yeah.
hotel rooms.
Yes,
I would like to visit that topic in another episode.
I would.
That would
because
be-
I'd like to do more research.
Yeah,
on it.
just hidden crap. I'm sure we've heard a lot of stuff. If we just can compile it, that'd be a good, funny episode.
That feels like a huge violation. Like that feels very illegal.
Yeah.
But I wonder if like in the hotel's term and agreements, like it's hidden
Yeah.
300 pages down. It's
Mhm.
like we have the right to film everything you do inside of our rooms.
Yeah. Okay. You signed it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Then again, maybe is that a conspiracy? Because don't you think all the bad stuff that happens in hotel rooms, like it would be easier for police to figure that out, or like to find out who the perpetrator
Well, here's the
would
thing:
be?
if you sign off on that, you would have to assume that they're breaking a law, even if you signed off on that, some privacy law. So, for example, maybe a
But-
crime occurred within the hotel room. They filmed it. They brought that to court. Can't they just throw that out because?
Well, you did sign an agreement saying they're allowed to violate your privacy.
Yeah.
If that's the case,
My point is, can they implement that into their business legally?
yeah, it's like a. For example, somebody told me a long time ago that waivers don't mean shit. Like, for example, when you go to a skate park, you have to sign a waiver to get in saying anything that happens here, we're not liable for like your damages, whatever. You can't
Yeah.
sue us. According to this person, they said waivers don't mean shit. And if you get injured, you can still sue a place. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you even have the
Yeah,
waiver
why
if
have
that
it?
were the case?
Mhm.
It's like there's ways around it. Like there's certain like standpoints that lawyers can have and this and that, whatever. But there's certain cases that they can make that go against it. But I'm like, that it's a legal document and you signed it. Like, how does that even work?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like there's a software company a long time ago. This feels unrelated, but you're gonna have to trust me.
I trust you.
This is just to let people know how little we actually read into these terms and agreements pages, because they're basically for lawyers, right? They're so complex with all the legalese inside of them.
Yeah, we
and-
just scroll and
Yeah,
click.
it's not normal wording either.
exactly.
It's very thought out.
It's designed to
yeah.
be complex.
Mhm.
Like actually, it's designed
Yeah,
to be
it-
hard to read.
Yeah, exactly. And it's designed for you to think of loopholes.
Just like oh wait, sorry. Back to the story.
Yeah.
So, there was this software company, and I want to say it was in the mid 2000s, that put out, some new software, and within their terms and agreements, like 3/4 of the way in, they put a clause that says if anybody finds this, you are entitled to, it was like a $20,000 or $30,000 reward. Just all you had to do was read through like several hundred pages of terms and agreements to find them saying, if you see this, call this number and we will give you $30,000. That was it.
Damn.
It took somebody years to find it. Years.
Bro,
Can you
Plural.
imagine?
Control F. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine just search for it?
That's an agreement.
The find by keyword.
I think that might have
Yeah.
been before Control or Control F.
Imagine you're
No,
so
I'm pretty sure
you're
you,
so
you probably just can't do
fucking-
it on whatever file format it was.
Dude, you're
Yeah.
so fucking bored that you decide, you know what, I'm gonna read through this entire thing, and you come out with 30K. Curiosity,
Yeah.
Right?
I
Screw it.
guess.
You have to decipher it like it's like the Zodiac fucking wrote it. dude.
But it raises an interesting point,
Magnifying
which
glass.
is if that guy, or after multiple years, nobody found this reward, and it took one guy to read through several hundred pages, which wasn't even the full document of the terms and agreements, just to find that one thing. It took multiple years. what is inside normal terms and agreement pages
Yeah.
that we're not reading. Like, for example, with Facebook, people were getting upset that they're like, you're selling our data? How could you?
Yeah.
What? How could you even think of doing such a
Page
thing?
3267, bitch.
I feel so,
Literally one sentence.
I feel so violated.
3
We
words.
will sell your data.
It's 5 words.
How do you think they made money? You think they did it just by, oh, grandma posted something funny? Here's $30? No, like,
So stupid, dude.
it's a business.
Yeah.
You just didn't want to know where the money was going or coming from because it's convenient.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And now that the arguments have been said, and most people that were upset about all of that data stuff have gotten pushed to the side, the mainstream view is, no, just take all that shit. What
Take
I'm
it.
doing isn't that bad. Why should it matter? I hate that argument. It's like, yeah, I'm cooking dinner in my house, but does that mean it's okay for the government to be watching with binoculars very
Yeah.
closely
It's,
at
it's a
everything I
matter.
do?
It's a matter
It's
of
the same
principle.
thing.
My
But
God.
the government isn't looking at you doing it. But Facebook, Facebook and Google, they have devices in your home that listen to you all the time.
Yeah.
24/7.
Those people are just. They don't.
I don't do bad things, bro.
My
it doesn't
God.
matter.
They just don't think.
It's
from a
creepy.
long-term
I can't
perspective.
believe it's not butter.
It's just it's just creepy. It's like having somebody in your house watching everything you do all the time.
Yeah, it's called God.
Wow.
Wow, everyone just shut up.
That's-
I mean, it relates to the Black Mirror episode we watched.
Bruh.
It relates to the Black Mirror episode we watched with the blackmail one.
Ugh.
Oh, okay. Actually,
Give me money.
give me money.
What was that? What the hell? What episode
No,
was
we
that?
were so
Oh, okay.
we were watching Black Mirror, and we're like, maybe it'd be a good idea. So we started off by watching.
Was that in the episode? first of
Yes,
all?
yes,
Okay.
it was.
I thought
We-
you guys just made fun of it.
No, well, we were, but
It was a really funny,
the,
intense
the,
course.
the thing,
moment.
well, it was funny, but the guy did a great job. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
he was.
Yeah.
He was good at it.
Yeah, he did an excellent job at acting. But we're American and he's British, so
Yeah.
funny accent. But we were watching the Twilight Zone, and we started off with this episode. I think it's called Number 12 Looks Like Me,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes place in a distant future. Rod Sterling said, he's like, just an arbitrary number, the year 2000, right? Because they made it back in, I think it was the 40s or 50s. But it takes place in a future where everybody falls into line with what the government deems to be acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
State-run programs are the only way to think, the only acceptable way to think.
Mm-hmm.
And once you reach the age of, I believe it was 19 or 20, you had to get an entire operation which changed everything about you. So, like, imagine plastic surgery, but for your entire body, right?
So their goal was to create beautiful people, and their logic was that all evil stems from ugliness.
What?
It stems from men. It stems from men's view of ugliness, not just in women, but also the world. So to eliminate ugliness both in men and women would be a step forward towards peace, because you don't
Progress.
have any problems with anybody looking ugly. Everybody looks great. So there's no more inequality.
That's like nature's equality.
There's no more inequality on a physical front.
And the ironic thing about it is, it was a totally dystopian view of the future.
Yeah, like the main character of the episode, she doesn't want to get that change, right? Her dad died, and her dad was a free thinker. He gave her philosophical books, which were banned by the government in the future, and it was like fairly rudimentary stuff.
Mhm.
Philosophy books?
Yeah, philosophy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember like Freud and Marcus Aurelius,
Okay.
Plato, all that.
and Plato, yeah, Socrates, stuff like that. Those books were banned in this alternate future, and that's where she got a lot of her common sense from, like, or a lot of her beliefs. Like, why do I need to be the same as everybody else? Why can't I just be unique?
Yeah.
And everybody's trying to curb her, change her mind. They give her smile juice, which is basically like soma. I
Yeah.
guess
So
you can
so
say
she
that.
feels like she knows the truth deep down.
No, she feels like she's the only sane person
Okay.
because she thinks different, or she thinks freely.
Yeah.
That's why she feels like she's the only sane person.
Yeah.
And while we were watching that episode, we were like, wait a minute. Black Mirror is just a modern version of the Twilight Zone, literally. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of why Black Mirror was made. It was like, what if the Twilight Zone was made now?
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about the shitty reboot of the Twilight Zone. We're talking about Black Mirror, the good one.
Yeah.
And we started watching this episode, and I think it was it Shut Up and Dance?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shut Up and Dance. And it takes place in a future where people's most private interactions online or digitally, I guess you could say, are being used against them. And these aren't like good private things. You know, it's not like we're holding you hostage because you paid $100,000 to charity. No, it's like these people are doing bad things.
For example, you get caught with an affair with a prostitute over however many years or and they have all that information.
Mm-hmm.
Or in this guy's case, you get caught jerking off to some very,
very, very illegal,
Yeah.
disgusting
Mhm.
form of pornography. Or like another woman, for example, she was working in some industry and she was a higher up and she got caught with a racist email scam.
Mhm.
So these people, right, they get caught by these hackers through whatever means and they get in trouble. These hackers text them and say, is like they just show the video of whatever they're doing or the proof of whatever they were doing is super bad.
Mhm.
And they say, you do everything we say or this leaks. To everyone you know on every social media platform, it will be on the front page news. You will be over. So you have no options. Don't tell anybody about what's happening right now. Keep your phone on, keep it charged, wait for instructions.
Mm.
So, as the show goes on, this dude gets crazy stuff. He gets asked to do crazy things, right? Bike to this location, get this random package, deliver it to this room. The man who's inside has no idea what's in the package. Gets inside the room, man sees the package, says it's from this one woman. It turns out the name of that woman was the person he was supposed to have an affair with in like 30 minutes.
God.
Yeah. So now they're running around trying to do crazy stuff. For example, they go over to a bank. They're asked to rob it, right? Who's playing cop? Who's playing robber? The affair guy stays in the car. The dude who is watching really disgusting stuff goes inside. He robs the place and he pisses himself immediately out of fear, right? Because it's so overwhelming what's happening in this moment. And that's when he says, "Give me money."
And that's when you guys probably broke out laughing.
Yeah, that was the meme.
But it
for us.
raises so many questions for the future, because if you're being blackmailed for something that will ruin your life,
Yeah.
you will go to great lengths. You will murder people if you were told
Yeah.
to do so. You will.
Exactly. And Black Mirror has an episode just like that. It had something to do with child pornography.
That's the one we're talking about.
That's the one
No,
you're talking
I don't
Yeah,
think.
shut up
Oh, I
and
thought you were
dance.
talking about Twilight Zone this whole time.
No, we're talking about the Black Mirror.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I don't
Gotcha.
think that's going to happen often, but it's going to happen enough times, and we'll have more cases come up where it's going to be a serious problem.
Yeah.
So.
And it raises so many interesting moral questions. Like, for example, the things that those people were doing are objectively horrible. Very, very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're being hunted by these online groups to do even more horrific things as a means to hide it. And then at the end, after everything's said and done, they just publish the information anyways.
Yeah. So
Which is crazy.
they just get free money out of it and just free service.
No, it wasn't even money. They're just doing it to torture
Oh
people
my God.
that are doing horrific things.
Yeah.
So in an essence,
So he's
like,
the worst. Who's the worst person? here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the thing, right? Because you are tearing somebody's life apart, like, and making them do unspeakable acts after they have already been doing unspeakable acts for God knows how
Yeah.
long.
You're making someone wish they were dead. Rather
Exactly.
Than, yeah.
And now they're getting ostracized as a result of it. And I think the question is, what? Sorry, let me back up. I think the thing that's supposed to be terrifying about that is the person who's holding the thing above your head. Like, what do they deem as bad? For example, like when you were watching the show in the beginning, you didn't realize what the young man was pleasuring himself to was so illegal and disgusting. You just thought it was a video of him,
Yeah.
playing with himself.
Mhm.
And so, if that's something that somebody would commit suicide over or just be distraught to no end over if it got leaked, that means the hacker's the bad person at that point, right? Because they're just holding something over somebody's head and making them shut up and dance.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tyrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when they do it for people that do horrible things, it's acceptable.
Makes no sense.
It's an interesting moral conundrum. That power dynamic that you have as the hacker is so slight. It puts you in the balance of, I guess it really comes down to where your morals lie as the hacker.
Yeah.
Like, are you only doing this to shitty people?
Well, it's like two wrongs don't make a right. So
Yeah, it's like a
That is actually
it's
that
like a
is an
serial
interesting way to look at
killer
it.
going out of his way
To murder other
to murder
serial killers.
to murder a pedophile, for example. You know, like, yes, they're both bad, but like at the same time, you can see the good in the serial killer now.
Right?
It's so
That's
weird.
the weird
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
That's the weird
it's
thing.
so
murky.
weird. Like,
Like, there actually was a guy who got arrested, and I think he was a serial killer of pedophiles.
Yeah.
Like, that was his thing. He still murdered people,
yeah, and everyone was praising him
but
online.
he murdered the worst people on the planet.
Yeah.
that's why with those
So
things,
the action is bad, but the motive is kind of good. Like, it's
It's
I don't
the
know if it's
worst-
good, but like
No,
the,
but
the
here's the
thing
thing.
is, you're not. I don't know.
But
I
also-
wouldn't.
It's so weird.
I wouldn't label it from a moral perspective because it just clouds everything even more.
Exactly.
I would just label it. Okay, you took an action, and now you have to deal with the consequence.
Yeah. The way I think about it is like, well,
Also, the
you know,
scary thing is,
he was a pedophile, so whatever.
but
you know,
also, like, how does he?
I don't know.
How does he know that the people he's going after are pedophiles? Like, does he have definitive evidence, or is he just saying they're pedophiles?
you can
Which
look it
goes
up.
back to that conundrum of the hackers.
Yeah, I mean, it's public records, but at the same time, that hacker
That
situation.
actually, you know what? You're right. There are sex offenders,
Yeah.
but do they entail what type of sex offender they are? I don't know that.
It does.
Okay,
It does.
that
Yeah, you
makes
can
sense.
actually look it up. I can show it to you after too. Pull it up, Jamie. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god, that's
Start looking up some names. But yeah,
You
man.
understand how difficult some of these situations are
Yeah.
to even speak about. Imagine
That's
being
why
in it.
Being a
right.
judge is probably one of the hardest jobs, I think. Being a judge, especially if it's a tricky case. Good luck, dude. You're gonna have it's 50-50. There's gonna be people agreeing with you, people not. But then you're the ultimate decision maker, which makes the pressure so much more immense. It's fuck being a judge.
Yeah, we can leave that role for other people.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave you on that note. But yeah,
Being
guys,
a judge is hard.
it is.
Send
Being a
us
judge
out.
is very hard.
Restroom
And you may have
emergency.
noticed that we started using sounds here, thanks to good old Logan.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
a couple here and there.
Just a couple here and there. But yeah, guys, we're gonna have to end it here. But as usual,
I don't want to end it here.
you don't.
No, I mean you couldn't hear it. We need to get headphones for these sounds so you can hear the cues. But you're like, we need to end it here, and I'm
We'll
like,
set it-
bruh,
yeah.
I don't want to end it.
yeah, bruh. Anyway, we'll set it up next time though, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
we got it in here, right? Or
Yeah.
did you take the unit?
No,
home?
we have it.
All right,
we
cool.
have it.
All right.
We got it set up.
So with
But
that being said, thank you very much for joining us on another episode of the 2 a.m. podcast. You can find
Exactly.
us on many platforms where you would listen to podcasts already, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor.fm, Castbox, and many more.
mhm.
Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channels. That would be the 2 a.m. podcast or the 2 a.m. Clips channel.
Exactly. Clips channel.
And also, please remember to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Zayd is gone, so
Screw him. We just missed 1 star, dude.
yeah, you know what? Zayd may walk out on you guys, but Saeed and I never will.
Exactly.
And
We're
with
always
that
here for
being
you.
said,